Master. If this ego cannot be got rid of, then let the rascal remain as the servant of God. All laugh. A man may keep his ego even after attaining samadhi. Such a man feels either that he is a servant of God or that he is a lover of God. Shankaracharya retained the ego of knowledge to teach men spiritual life. Footnote: the ego of knowledge. The ego illumined and purified by the knowledge of God. Following the method of discrimination, the jnani in samadhi merges his ego in Brahman. Thereafter, he may come down to the relative plane with an appearance of individuality, but even then, he is always conscious of his identity with Brahman. This apparent ego is called the ego of knowledge. A bhakto, following the path of love, realizes his eternal relationship with God. He too keeps an appearance of individuality on the relative plane. This ego has none of the characteristics of the worldly ego and is called the ego of devotion. The two egos here described refer to the same state of realization. Footnote ends. The servant ego, the knowledge ego, or the devotee ego may be called the ripe ego. It is different from the unripe ego, which makes one feel, I am the doer. I am the son of a wealthy man. I am learned. I am rich. How dare anyone slight me? A man with an unripe ego cherishes such ideas. Suppose a thief has entered such a man's house and stolen some of his belongings. If the thief is caught, all the articles will be snatched away from him. Then he will be beaten. At last, he will be handed over to the police. The owner of the stolen goods will say, What? This rogue doesn't know whose house he has entered? After realizing God, a man becomes like a child 5 years old. The ego of such a man may be called the ego of a child, the ripe ego. The child is not under the control of any of the gunas. He is beyond the 3 gunas. He is not under the control of any of the gunas, sattva, rajas or tamas. Just watch a child and you will find that he is not under the influence of tamas. One moment he quarrels with his chum or even fights with him. And the next moment, he hugs him, shows him much affection, and plays with him again. He is not even under the control of rajas. Now he builds his playhouse and makes all kinds of plans to make it beautiful. And the next moment, he leaves everything behind and runs to his mother. Again, you see him wearing a beautiful piece of cloth worth 5 rupees. After a few moments, the cloth lies on the ground. He forgets all about it. Or he may carry it under his arm. If you say to the child, "That's a beautiful piece of cloth. Whose is it?" He answers, "Why? It is mine. My daddy gave it to me." You may say, "My darling, won't you give it to me?" And he will reply, "Oh no, it is mine. My daddy gave it to me. I won't give it to you." Some minutes later, you may coax him with a toy or a music box worth a penny, and he will give you the cloth. Again, a child 5 years old is not attached even to sattva. You may find him today very fond of his playmates in the neighborhood. He doesn't feel happy for a moment without seeing them. But tomorrow, when he goes to another place with his parents, he finds new playmates. All his love is now directed to his new friends. And he almost forgets about his old ones. Further, a child has no pride of caste or family. If his mother says to him about a certain person, "This man is your elder brother," he believes this to be 100% true. One of the two may have been born in a Brahmin family, and the other may belong to a low caste, say that of the blacksmiths. But they will take their meal from the same plate. A child is beyond all ideas of purity and impurity. He is not bound by social conventions. He doesn't hesitate to come out naked before others.